Full Manga Alchemist here, and I am going to be jumping into a topic that I'm incredibly late to the show on, but hey, better late than never, and that topic is, are manga hauls toxic? And I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it. They're not, but let's jump into it. Okay, let's start off by giving a little bit of a background. Several manga tubers did these videos about are manga hauls toxic. It originated with On the Shelf, then I think the first person that kind of jumped on it was East Coast Manga. And I really like East Coast Manga's video because I feel like he covered a lot of really key points. So after you finish watching this video, definitely go check out his. I think it's fantastic. But going into it, my personal opinion, I'll just go straight off the bat. No, I do not think manga hauls are toxic. Actually, far from it. I think they are an incredible thing for the community. I think they build us as a community, and I think they're extremely good for a multitude of reasons. One, I feel like it builds not just us reading manga, but like I said, as a community in general, there's a lot of talk. I have many series that I would have never even touched if it wasn't for manga haul videos and me asking for recommendations and people recommending it. Like one of my favorite series I have on my shelf, Komi Can't Communicate. I really love that series, and I would have never ever touched it because it wasn't my thing at the time, unless somebody in my comment section wouldn't have told me to. So that aspect that it makes us feel okay to talk, it is a very laid back kind of video. It's not as serious. It's literally, hey man, I'm gonna do a manga haul, I set a camera down and I go through my manga. And I'm not really peddling it. I tell you, and I feel like this is the same way with many manga tubers, is we're not peddling the manga. We're not trying to sell it to you. There's a few other ones, a few volumes that I'll be like, hey man, this series is great. If you like stuff like this, you should definitely try reading this. Like Beastars, Promised Neverland, stuff like that. But I'm not in no way, shape, or form like demanding you go out and buy it. And I think that's the sentiment that kind of gets lost. I think some people, and it's not On the Shelf, I watched his video too, people freaking out at On the Shelf and thinking he's like way out. No. Calm down. You rewatch his video and understand that he was just looking at it objectively and how people could perceive it as toxic. No, I don't think any manga tuber for the most part is like, hey, if you're not a real manga fan, unless you buy 30 volumes every month and you buy deluxe editions and hardcovers, I don't think there's a soul in this community it's like that. If they are, they can like literally get out the door. No one fucking wants them here. No one. So for the mass community of manga tubers and just, I think other than the 1%, like, you know, East Coast and On the Shelf and all these other people said, other than the 1% of people that collect just to collect purely, I think everybody else is honestly in it because they love manga and they want it to read manga. And me personally doing manga hauls is because I want to show you guys. Like, I fucking love watching manga hauls. And like, I'll just list a few of manga hauls. Of course, everybody in the manga community is going to watch Base Senpai. I love watching East Coast Manga. I like watching, even though he doesn't do really manga hauls anymore, Shonen Trash. I like watching all of these different manga hauls because you guys, all the other manga tubers give me great recommendations. Like I said, I would have never looked at some of them. Like Gantz, right? People talk Gantz up, and I seen Zach from Uchu Shelf talking about Gantz and picking up Gantz, and I was like, all right, I'll try this, and now it's fucking awesome, dude. Like, for the community to keep growing and keep thriving and recommendations getting thrown out and everybody talking and being friendly and building this great place, I think manga hauls are essential. They get the most clicks, they get the most views, they spread the fact that me and all these other manga tubers love manga, and the hauls is just a really, really good way to show that. And then of course we do first impression videos and recommendations and series reviews, but there might be a random weird series that no one's ever seen. You pop up in a manga haul, you might never talk about it again, but they'd be like, man, he kind of went over it a little bit. That sounds interesting. And that's all I want. I want to, and I think that's all any manga tuber wants to do, is just spread, you know, knowledge about series. Say, hey man, this is great. I wasn't really feeling this, but you might, you know, and I think that's the general sentiment. I don't think there's any toxicity in it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're not peddling black tar heroin here. We're peddling Japanese comics, man. like we're talking about Japanese comics. We're not talking about, you know, freaking cocaine. Like, we're not, like, I get it. Some people have very compulsive tendencies, and they see something and they see somebody buy 200 volumes and they're like, man, I gotta keep up, or I gotta do this, or I gotta do that to get all this manga, or spend $700. No. And I feel like that is a person by person case. You know, in my video, in manga collecting tips, my last tip was don't buy beyond your means. You know, if you only have a few bucks, no one cares. Like, I could post a manga haul with 4 volumes. You know what? I'm gonna be proud of that. You need to be proud with yourself and what you buy, and even if it's 2 volumes a month, if you love those volumes, fuck yeah. Like, don't worry about anybody else or what they think of your stuff. You know, I know people that don't do YouTube that just post it on Twitter, and everybody's like heart reacting it and like, yeah man, that's fucking awesome. How's this series? And they talk to them. I think as a whole in the community, manga hauls aren't toxic at all. I think that, you know, some people might perceive it a little bit that way, but dude, every community has this. And East Coast Manga said that in this video. He used to do streetwear. Every community has their hauls. Every community has their monthly pickups. It's something that's gonna be here. And luckily for our community, I think it's a positive thing. I think it really gets people involved. Now, for those people out there, and I've said this before, that don't have a good amount of money, that don't have the financial means to buy a bunch of manga, but you want to read manga, you can definitely go and watch Zach from Uchu Chef's video where he talks about that, you know, www.wherecanareadfreemanga.com, like that. You can go on that. Also, $2 a month, guys, get you Shonen Jump app with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of volumes of super quality manga. Like, literally every volume, every chapter of One Piece is on there, and One Piece is fantastic. So, like, and just all kinds of new stuff. You get new series all the time. That's where I discovered Spy Family. Like, I seen the first chapter of Spy Family when it, like, the week after it released, and I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, if you don't have the money, there's ways that you can still read without, you know, feeling like you just can't be a fan. But definitely be okay with yourself. Don't worry about anyone else. Everyone's different and everybody sees stuff differently. But as long as you're okay with what you're doing as far as this manga, you know, buying and collecting goes, screw everyone else. Do what you want to do. Buy and read what you want to read, no matter what people say. You know, if you want to buy 2 volumes a month, you want to buy 700, buy them. You know, whatever you want to do. No one's forcing anyone. And I personally think, again, to recap the statements, I don't think manga hauls are toxic, and I actually think they're positive. So that's all I had, a little bit of a rant, but I really appreciate anyone stopping by and watching this video. Tell me if you think they're toxic in the comments, and mainly keep reading manga, you guys. Be good to each other. See ya.